What we have here is a beautiful classic from the last year before World War II, a 1941 Buick convertible. 1941 is considered a banner year for Buick. A lot of fans of Buick consider 41 to be some of the best looking cars Buick ever built, particularly the Super and the Roadmaster series, which used General Motors' new torpedo body that year. This particular Buick is the Super. It looks almost identical to the Roadmaster. The only difference is the Roadmaster had 5 inches more wheelbase and 5 inches more length. Other than that, the bodies are identical. It's very hard to tell one from the other unless you get close enough to read on the side of the hood here, the hood vents, Super. The engine is a straight 8, and 1941 is the year Buick was famous for having its dual carburation, which is standard on the Super model. This car has a very interesting story to tell. It was purchased new by a young man in a small town in Ohio, about 50 miles southwest of Columbus. And it seems that he purchased this Buick new at a dealership in Columbus. He apparently had just become the county court clerk, and he was about 30 years old and was looking for something real sporty in transportation. And he bought the Buick, and he must have really loved this car because he kept it from 1941 until he died in 2003. Some of the fellows in the old car clubs around the area remember him and the Buick. They say he always kept it garaged and drove it only occasionally. The styling on these cars is really pretty, particularly I think the way the rear tapers. The fender skirts add to the effect. They were optional. The white wall tires, however, and this particular example has BF Goodrich Silvertowns, they were standard on the convertible models. We'll open the door, take a look inside. This car is painted in the original Imperial Maroon color. I'm trying to go by memory, but I believe the code was, Buick code was 561. It apparently has its original owner's manual, judging by the wear on it. And it's interesting that inside there is a note written that says, "Suggest you read use of jack" on page 60. Apparently, I would guess that was written by the original salesman for the car at the dealership in Columbus. After the original owner died, a nephew inherited the car, and not being a car person, he passed it on to a car collector in Maryland who, well, you can't really say he restored the car. In fact, I talked to him after I bought the car, and he used the term refurbished. He stripped the paint, which was original paint but not in great condition at this point, down to the bare metal, and it was painted in base coat, clear coat urethane in the original color, Imperial Maroon. He also re-chromed the bumpers. Did not do any engine work beyond rebuilding the two carburetors and tuning it up. He said because it just didn't need it. The odometer reading on this car currently is, see if I can look in and read it here, 36,493. Now who knows, is that 36,000 or is that 136? But as far as I know, and as far as I've been able to find out, this engine has never been opened. So I would argue for the lower mileage reading, particularly how the original owner loved this car so much and didn't drive it that much. It's real interesting. This is the first year Buick had this system for opening the hood, and they had it for many years after this. People who aren't familiar with it will go up front and look all around trying to figure out how to open the hood on the car. But it's not up front. The secret is right back here at each side. You pull that out, and then there's a little lever right there. You push that in. Push it in, and the hood raises. And you have a lever right here that it catches on, and it opens from either side. This is the carburetor side, the dual carburetors. And we'll move to the other side, close it here. Push that in to lock it. And you do the same on the other side to open it here. Push that in with your finger, raise the edge of the hood, and prop it. And there you see the nicely detailed Buick overhead valve straight 8 engine that they had for many, many years, with the last year being 1953. And the first year being back in the 30s somewhere. However, they only had the dual carburation 2 years, 1941 and 1942. Okay, let's start it up and take it for a little ride. Incidentally, as you can see, the top is down. This car has a power top. It has the original vacuum-operated power top, which works. After we get back from a ride, I'll show you by raising the top. Most of these old cars that had the vacuum-operated top have been converted to a hydraulic. This one still has the operating vacuum-operated, most unusual. Also has a radio, AM radio, tube type, of course, which works. The clock sometimes runs. When it takes a notion, the clock runs. To start the car, turn it on and step down on the gas. It's a 6-volt electrical system still, but it starts right up. This car starts and drives very nicely. It's a wonderful, marvelous old car for a tour car. We'll go up our driveway here for a little bit and take it for a short drive. sweet driving car to be so old. "72 years old. Comfortable riding, easy steering, shift is easy. Still in high gear. Let's see how it will do going up this rather steep hill we have here. Pulls right up with no problem at all. Notice the oil pressure is good. Good oil pressure on it, showing positive charge. The dash and the steering wheel on this car is all original, except for the paint part here. The engine turning is original and beautiful. The steering wheel is just fantastic to be 72 years old. It's original. All the chrome on the car is original except the bumpers. Now, this car is not a show car. It's a very nice driver, I would say. And the original chrome, if you look real close, you can see some very minor pitting in some of it, but you have to look close. It's amazingly nice to be 72 years old. You can see the oil pressure there at idle, good oil pressure. Comes up just a little when you give it gas. Positive charge. Temperature is warming up now to a normal range, never has any problem overheating. When they stripped the paint off of the car, they found no rust at all. Okay, let's see if the top is going to rise. Can't remember whether the knob is under here, whether you push in or pull out, so I'll try pulling out. That's the wrong way. Let's see if she's going to raise. It's coming up slowly, has to build up the vacuum. Here it comes. And vacuum operated top, 72-year-old mechanism. Works as good as new. And then you just clip it down here to lock it down. This car will be on the eBay auction starting this Sunday, and today is Wednesday the 16th, so that would be the 20th. Plan to list the car starting at about 9 p.m. Sunday night. And it's open for bid. Turn it off there. And one more feature I might show on the car, which I think is kind of a neat feature. You'll notice these things here. Well, it's neat how when you raise the windows, notice how that raises with the window and then locks into position there. When you lower the window again, it comes down to make a neat little cover there over the hole. very neat little engineering feature they had back there in 1941. Of course, it's that way on both sides of the car. I have a lot of pictures posted with the car, so take a look at them. It's a really nice car, great tour car. So we'll stop the video at this point.